Welcome to the Everyday Awesome Project, where we bring you inspirational stories and game changing strategies to live your most awesome life.
Hey, superstars, welcome back. Paula here.
And Sam Pruitt. What's up, beautiful humans?
And hey, who's that? Wait, we have someone joining us today, our first guest of the year. I am so excited. This is actually a good friend of mine. I'm happy to introduce Tanya Rooney. Welcome, Tanya.
Oh, hey, ladies.
So Tanya has been a friend of mine that I knew. So she'll tell us about herself, but I know her as a couple of things. One is badass real estate investor. So we met about 4 or 5 years ago, I think it was, flipping houses of all things, traveling across the country, going to these mastermind events. And Tanya is just the big capital F word, one of our favorite F words, fun, 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 right? So I saw her in a room and I was like, she's fun. Okay. And so we've stayed friends and we have fellow, travel bug adventures we talk about and stuff. So Tanya, thank you for joining us today. And we look forward to getting to know you and sharing you with our audience.
Yeah, I'm stoked to be here. I appreciate the invite and I love talking to people about everything. So, whew.
I heard your story, just a brief summary. I'm going to get to know you today as well, but I feel like you're a real visionary. And there's nothing we get more fired about these days than visionaries who are actually not just dreaming and visioning, but executing like the real deal in a way that's really having a positive impact. So why don't you unpack a little bit of your story for our listeners?
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to keep this part brief because I don't know, I guess you guys probably have the same thing that you could talk about a lot of different things that have happened. So about 15 years ago, I think that's probably about when I graduated college, and I hopped into a job that I just needed a job. It actually didn't matter to me. It was about 2010, 2009. So I just needed a job, and it happened to be at a commercial real estate company. I started out in like a shared services team, just doing wires for really big property managers. Like truly, that's kind of how I started. And then I was talking to some HR people at that company, and I was like, well, I really like, what is project management? Like, I did not know what project management was, but I was like, that sounds like a great job. Let's do that. Because I just didn't really want to be on my shared services team anymore. She actually had told me, she deterred me. She's like, hey, yeah, like they don't really ever have openings. I don't like, you should probably look for something else. Still at the company, but maybe you should look for something else. And then seriously, within 2 months, something had posted. I got an interview. I was actually hired but didn't know about it for probably 4 or 5 weeks because I had started following up with the people. It was literally, I was on the fifth floor or whatever, and they were on the second floor. And I had like followed up and I'm just like, hey, is anything ever gonna happen with this? And she's like, oh, she hasn't told you? Yeah, like we're gonna hire you. We just need to find a start date. It's like, okay. And that was kind of like my entrance into a pretty chaotic world, actually, at first. It was a little bit. I'll just call it a little bumpy in the beginning because I was just learning how to do some things. So I was like on a project management team, and what project management means to me, because I've also found out all these years, like it's not the same to everybody. Like some people automatically think of IT, some people automatically think of construction, some people automatically think just fill in the blank. There's tons of them. So what I did was commercial real estate or corporate real estate project management. So at first I was on a shared services team, but I ended up growing up into a project manager. And what I did was help commercial real estate people. So maybe somebody that's moving into the eighth floor of whatever high rise is in the area, and they need to find an architect to design their space. They need to find a general contractor to actually do all of it. They need to put furniture in it. They need to move into that space, and they need to get rid of the stuff at their old space and close down their old space. So I would do scope, schedule, and budget of that whole entire like chunk of of everything. And I did it at a really big commercial real estate company that's global. There's over 70,000 people that work there. It's called CBRE. So I worked for them for like 10 years. And then I like probably at about year 8, I was kind of feeling grumpy, we'll call it, on a Saturday, because I was texting with a I wasn't texting with a client. I was actually texting with another service provider, so like a mover. And the client was asking us to award a project to 2 different vendors so that we could save some money. And the money was $2,000 on like an $8 million project. And it was really annoying to me because I'm like, this is going to make everything harder. Why don't we just see if they'll, cut $2,000 off of their price? But he didn't want that. So we had to have 2 different vendors for a piece of scope that was very easily just one vendor. So I was really irritated because I'm like, this is Saturday. Like, what am I doing? This is so stupid. So I messaged a friend from the gym that kept telling me I should flip houses. And I'm like, what should I do if I want to flip a house? And she told me to start listening to a podcast called Bigger Pockets. Now Bigger Pockets is like this huge thing. It's a lot of real estate investors. That's where they go to learn. So I binge podcasts honestly, I probably binged them for 10 months, but I had a house within 3 months of when I sent that text message. I'm just like, so we just started making offers and started flipping houses. And I had just kind of realized that I didn't want to get punched in the gut by big, huge corporate clients in the way that I'm just like $2,000. What? Like, this is so stupid. Everything makes it harder. And I just kind of was like, that was my breaking point. So I started flipping houses and doing some more things, but I was able to quit my corporate job, within a year or two of that. And just, yeah. So that in a nutshell is at least how I learned how to be I guess an adult, because I had to have a 40-hour a week job, was through that experience.
Well, lesson number 1, don't listen to HR. How many people,
That was so,
how
yeah,
many people
wow.
literally let their whole career trajectory operate around an HR department where maybe they even never have met those people. They're applying for jobs or putting their resume out, whatever, they're getting blown off, whatever all is going on out there. And or they get into a company that they care about, they're committed to, they're in the process, and that person is controlling, if you will, opportunity or lack thereof.
Yeah.
I mean, this person basically said, don't bother. And you're like,
Yeah.
fuck it, I'm going. Like,
Yeah.
what's happening
Yeah, it's
here?
a bias. Actually, Sam, it's a really
It's
good
a
point. I've never
bias.
thought of that they have like an automatic bias. If you are deciding that whatever, let's just assume a lot of people do have corporate jobs because they do. They might
Sure.
work at a tiny little company of only 10 people. They
Still.
might work at one with 75,000 people. No matter what, that HR company is biased to their company because it's their job as HR to keep you, to retain you because of how much it costs to actually hire somebody. Because it's like, I think it's like $150,000 to technically hire somebody. And it's about like, I know that's a corporate number, but it's about how much lost time you have after you train somebody. So if somebody only lasts a year in a corporate job, you are losing a lot of money because now you have to retrain somebody, and that might take another 6 to 8 months, and then you have HR actually trying to hire it. But all of that to say, HR is biased. If you're ever putting that decision in someone else's hands, you're fucking crazy.
Don't do it.
Because we only care about ourselves, guys. Like, I don't care if you care about everybody in the world. We still, in the end, have to care about ourselves somehow.
And who knows you better than you? Right?
Yeah.
Your skills, your capabilities, your potential, not somebody, I mean, I'm sure they're all wonderful people, but they don't really know you and they don't really understand how you're trying to navigate your own life. They're not there for that, right? They're there to fill whatever their role is. So
yeah,
cool.
and you should still take their advice. I mean,
I mean,
that's not
maybe.
the worst thing, but yeah, and it is maybe, but I mean, they can help you develop and stuff, but just know that in the end, like, it's your decision and it's your life. And whatever they say is, maybe don't listen. I was like, what the heck? Like, I already got a job. Like, within 6 months of that conversation, I had a job with project management. So I'm like, okay.
And then number 2 was, getting uncomfortable on a Saturday because you realized what the job was turning into. And you're like, I'm sorry, is this what I'm doing with my life? This is what we're doing now? No.
Yeah. It was just kind of like I don't want to.
Because we're made for more. We're made for, and what's so great is like you knew that inherently, and that was just like a little tiny, the big enough nudge to go, not doing this. Not doing
let's
this.
let's just try something else. Like, the worst that it could happen. Honestly, like, fast forward a few years and I actually quit my job. It's like all the conversations we have is the worst that could happen is you have to go get another job. That's really not that fucking bad. Like, out of all the things, like, that's it. Like, I'm not a neurosurgeon. I'm not a doctor. People aren't going to die for most of the things that I do, like 99.9% of the things that are in my life, like, people aren't going to die. So the worst that could happen is I like go bankrupt and have to go get a job. And that's really not that hard.
Awesome.
100%.
So you not only did you get into real estate, you jumped, feet first, flipping houses, joined this big mastermind. You're just going, going, going. Was your husband in it full time also, or was it you full time and he was kind of part time? I forget if you guys were doing it together.
So the first house we flipped, we probably flipped maybe like 50 to 60% of it, like as in we did the work. And then so he did do stuff, but that was nights and weekends. He still has his job. He is a union crane operator, so he still works in the construction industry to this day. He takes a month or two off here and there, and we'll work on a project or we'll go somewhere. But he was at least into the idea. I've pushed him so far past his comfort zone we've been together for 17 years. So the last 16 years, I've pushed him so far past his comfort zone that he is now like on board with all the things. And he's the one that convinces me, like, the worst that could happen is we lose all of our money and we have to get I have to get a job. So so he's on board is really what is happening.
That's cool. That's
For
cool.
sure. For sure. It's a team, like you guys are definitely
We are a
team,
team.
Team Rooney. It's so good. It's so good. So you do that, and then out of it, I don't know if was it an accidental move into short-term rentals, or was it purposeful, or like how did the short-term rental, because that was your next phase that you're like fully thrived in that when you went into that. So tell me about that.
Yeah, that was a house that just wasn't selling for what we wanted. A friend, like you had mentioned, the mastermind thing. So when I don't know what I'm doing, or if I know, like, hey, I'm into this, let's figure out how to do it better, or at scale of any kind, so I can quit a job, I will join a mastermind to figure out how to do that. So I joined a group called 7-Figure Flipping. I learned how to flip houses. I learned how to raise money. I learned how to just do things more efficiently and at scale if I wanted to. So because of that, I tend to make a lot of friends because I really like people. Like, people are definitely my superpower. So I was telling one of my friends from that flipping group, I'm just like, man, this house isn't selling. Somebody wants to do a contract for deed, but it was a really crappy deal for me. So I found out more and more. And then he's like, well, Tanya, haven't you like run numbers to turn it into an Airbnb? And I'm like, what is that? What does that mean? And he hopped on a call with me, kind of showed me all the things. He's like, well, even if you only make a portion of this, he's like, that's still pretty good money. And I was like, yeah, actually it is. So I hopped in 2020, which is not always, it's like it's a weird time. Yes, but it wasn't in February of 2020. It was at the end of 2020. So things were already kind of like, they weren't super open, but it was still okay. So I hopped into it then, and I haven't looked back. Like, I don't flip anymore because flipping is really not my jam. It stresses me out. Like, it puts a strain on my marriage because I just like take all of that in and I just keep it, and then I word vomit at my husband. So I stopped doing the flipping stuff because it's not my favorite part of real estate. So I went full in on short-term rentals, and we just sold one, but otherwise we have a portfolio of 4 properties in Minneapolis and St. Paul, and they're city stays. And yeah, I've been doing that for a while and I love it. Like, I mean, hospitality is totally up my alley. So it's been really, really fun to figure out.
And then you dive in and you join a mastermind, or you joined, didn't create the short-term rental mastermind, but I mean, like, you just
I'm in a short-term rental mastermind. Like I said, if I'm into something, like, I'm going to go find the people that are doing it. And I don't necessarily go to anybody local. Like, I still have short-term rental friends locally. But like, it's so interesting to be part of a group where there's people from all over the country, because you can see different pulses and you get completely different ideas. Like, some of these people have been doing it for 20 years. Some have only been doing it for a year or two. So I've got friends like that. But then usually when I join a group, I end up like making a smaller group within that. Like, I like bring people in, and I like to tell people I force friendship, but I think in the end that's not a force anymore, because I'll like make accountability
it's
calls.
a force field.
It's something I'm bringing them in because they're like, yeah, I want to be a part of that. And sometimes they're not convinced at the first few messages. So then they have to wait and sit on the sideline. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I want to be in that. So I've got a couple of friends that, we created a smaller group. It started out as an accountability group. So we talked every single week. And honestly, we talked daily as well, like in a text message string, but we would talk every week about some goals and then about like just talk shop. And now it's turned into most of them end up up turning into what I call a coffee club. So we just like meet maybe once a month or something online. So I just got back from a conference and I stayed with 6 of them. So that was fantastic. So we just talk business and we talk family stuff. Like a lot of my real estate friends become daily friends. Like we're literally talking multiple times every single day. And that's kind of what happened with short-term rental land. So I piece off these groups, but then further, like the next thing I started was a podcast called Tribe Builders, and it's all about why it's important for small business owners to have a tribe. And it's about like best practices, like these really cool things that we all are doing, but nobody really knows. And then you find out these things, and then you get to make like a better business because of it. You have people to support you, because if you're listening and you don't have a business, your business friend that does have a business doesn't know how to talk to you in certain circumstances, because people want to just hop on board. Like my husband is my biggest cheerleader. He wants to hop on board anytime I'm mad or annoyed about something. He's like, yeah, I hate that too. And I hate them. And yeah. And I need somebody on the other side being like, hey, quit being a drama queen. And this is how you fix this. And like that kind of stuff. So, so I'm such a big cheerleader for people building a tribe around whatever they're doing. I don't actually care if it's just, I mean, business, mom's club, soccer mom, like a sport. It doesn't actually matter what it is. You just need to have people that love those things. And the joy, like your joy skyrockets when stuff like this happens, because you're just like, it's like why people talk about CrossFit. I did CrossFit for a few years, and I'm totally one of those kinds of people. Like, you're just like, I want to talk about CrossFit. I want to eat like a CrossFitter. I want to talk about CrossFit to anybody that will listen to me. I want to hang out with my CrossFit friends. I want to lift weights. Like all these things, you just get really jacked up, and you'll do better because you're around like-minded people. And the same as in business, short-term rentals. I mean, literally all the things that we do. You're just like, hey, let's have friends that do this too. And then all of a sudden you're like, this is the best. So yeah.
Yeah, it's that camaraderie connection. I was just having coffee with my CrossFit gals this morning, which is a group of women. And we call ourselves the Badass Babes because that's legit. All different ages, but mostly from 50 to 70 years old.
Awesome.
And doing CrossFit on the regular, like and just the connection, like we're all the same person in this way, you know, and it's really powerful.
You've hurt together. Coach Sam, you've hurt together. That is the reason that CrossFit people love each other, is they're like, I know how much that hurts. Like when you have to do 70 wall balls, like they know. So you just like, there's this beautiful community that comes together in that form, because they're just trying to encourage each other. Yes, there's tons of competition, but in the end, people still like, they'll literally go and cheer for you so you finish your workout. Like how strange is that if you've never done it? It's not strange, it's amazing, but it's strange from an outside point of view.
Totally. And Polly and I call it the A team, basically finding that core group of individuals who are equally invested in your success. Like they want you to fucking win, legit. Like it's not competitive. It's like, if you're winning, I'm winning. We're going to do this together, even though you could be completely in separate places doing separate things. It's just that connection around support and camaraderie and just like-mindedness and the right energy, right, to create winning.
Yeah. Like who else is going to get excited about duvet covers or like a new way to pack toilet paper? Like your parents or your friends from back home, they don't care about things like that. But you find somebody else, oh my God, you're going to literally talk about duvet covers or quilts for like 45 minutes at a go. Like this is the silly things, but that's why it works so well, is like, Sam, I heard you're a runner. I know you're a runner. You could talk to me about running and I'm gonna be like, oh, neat. I think that's really cool for you. Like, I'm not super interested in it, but I do like to encourage people. So, you know, you'll at least get a little bit out of me, but you start talking to me about, you know, investing in real estate and I'm like off to the races. So that's kind of that difference, is like that the people from, you know, maybe you grew up with, they're great. Like they still have a place in your life, but it's a different place in your life because you can have different conversations that are going to light you up and make you more excited and make you think differently.
I want to double click on something that you mentioned as a part of this. And one of the things that him and I have coached people in business and personal and stuff like that. And one of the things that people really get value out of coaching is accountability. And what I think you're creating in your groups is like group accountability, or it could be like micro accountability, right? And you, my friend, are the accountability queen, Tanya. Like I wanted to like highlight and share with people. So I think I'm pretty good at creating some habits over here. Okay, but like Tanya has me beat on a couple big time, big time, big
Oh
time.
yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
She's like,
Yes, I do. I know I
next
do.
level.
She gets called out about
Yes.
these. So share with us. I don't know if you want to
Okay.
start with like the first one you ever did or the
No, I
longest
want to hear her
one.
top 5 right now.
Okay.
Oh, I'm on day 2,600 and I'm gonna go with 77. I'm almost at 2,700 days of doing something every single day. It's called a miracle morning, and I do some variation of this thing,
Okay.
which is it's silence, so it's meditating, affirmations, visualization, a little bit of exercise, reading, and journaling.
Wait, all that
And
shit's happening in the morning?
yeah.
How much
Yeah,
time
like
are you
no,
allotting to
I
this?
actually don't. I don't do it in the morning. I
Okay.
give myself the time I'm awake, so like 24 hours
Okay.
essentially.
Okay.
A lot of times it happens before bed, but I do it
Okay.
whenever.
Okay.
And it could be like some days it's only a minute each because that's all I freaking have time for. And that's been something that I've been able to like structure however the heck I want because they're my habits, they're not somebody else's. I learned them from a book. There's a dude named Hal Elrod, The Miracle Morning. The reason he did it, like he literally, I think he like taught himself how to walk. They said he was never going to walk again. And like he walks now, and now he has a big huge business around like this kind of stuff. So I'm on like that's a big one. Like I know I've meditated every day for the last, like I have 6 years or something. And
Awesome.
and then there's these micro things though that Polly is talking about. So a few years ago, I was in this mastermind, the flipping mastermind, and somebody's husband was gonna jog every day from Memorial Day to Labor Day. Like that's how it started. I was like, oh yeah, what's that? Like, tell me more. And I was like, yeah, okay, I could do that. Like it's jog a mile every single day. And so I started that, and
Nice.
and then I got to that point, and I get to a point, and I'm just like, well, I'm on a streak. Like, why would I stop? Like, there's just why bother? So I would just keep going. So I got to Labor Day, and I was like, well, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to do for a year. And then I almost got to a year. I was a month away. And then I had like something on my foot that I had to get removed. So I couldn't walk. So I had to stop. So I had to stop for about 5 weeks. And then I started again. I started at the beginning of May, and I did a full year. I did a mile every day. And then I adjusted that one too as well to be, I just needed to get a mile in. If I biked, it needed to be 5, but a mile in, and it could be walking, jogging, right? It didn't matter. It was just get a mile in. So that happened. And then after that, I realized I wanted to do something else. I was like, well, I already kind of know I can do this. So what should I do next? So the next thing was write a thank you card every day for a year. So for 365 days, I wrote a thank you card every day. I had rules. Yeah, I know. I had rules around this that I couldn't send it to the same person in 1 month. So a couple people did get multiples, but it was about like I saw them, these months. So I was kind of like talking to them about it. But then I had to dig deep and be like, I thanked friends' parents for things, or like I sent some letter. I sent one to one of my fourth grade teacher because I still think about my fourth grade teacher. Like there's a certain point where you have to figure out like who helped shape your life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that all happened because of a guy in project management that I met at CBRE. Like I sent him a thank you card because I had realized he was the reason I interacted with contractors a certain way. And he made me like a better person. He absolutely did. He scared the hell out of me, honestly, but he made me a better project manager because of the ways he did things. It trickled down to me. So I knew things I had to do. So I sent him a thank you card just randomly. I was just like, hey, you know what? You like changed the way that I do things. Like I'm a good project manager and I'm good with contractors because of you. So he sent that, or he got that, and he actually texted me, and he was just like, wow, that was like one of the nicest cards I've ever gotten. Like, thank you for sending that. Like that was really great. So that spurred the thank you card every day, because I was like, could you imagine the ripple effect? Because I helped his day get better, but then that meant he was better around his wife that day, around his clients that day. Like literally there's a ripple effect. You could change somebody's day just because they walked to that mailbox and found this piece of paper from you. And text messages work and voice texts work, but like a handwritten card is something people might not save it, but they might save it forever, like literally ever. And so it was just that was what it was about, was the ripple effect of like how you can change one person's day. And then if you can spur 3 other people to write thank you notes for 30 days. Now all of a sudden there's, 150 people that you have just touched because of the one idea that you had. And same with the mile a day. I got so many, I still get questions or text messages like, hey, are you still doing that? By the way, I'm not doing it. I've got a different but
You've
people
moved
would
on.
ask, yeah, I totally have. But people would ask, like, are you still doing that? Like, you got me and my wife out every day in COVID because I saw that you were doing it. And I was like, well, I could do a mile a day and we could just talk. So, like, people really like started doing stuff like that. And I still have people that reach out to me and be like, hey, I'm going to start a mile a day. I'm going to do it for a year. And, you do it rain or snow. And I live in Minnesota. It gets sometimes it's -30 here, but we
Yikes.
still, we made a commitment. So I did it. And then I think last year it was I just didn't want to drink alcohol for a whole entire year. So I haven't drank alcohol since November of 2023 because I just haven't I didn't care to this year so far. And then this year I'm doing gluten-free for a whole year, like, so no gluten for the whole year. And then I'm doing 1,000 hours outside. So it's kind of like a bigger, I was actually scared to do a couple of things. I had some conversations with my husband in December and I'm just like, I don't know, like the no alcohol was really freaking easy. Like it was like, there was only a few times that really like kind of ugh, to me, but mostly it was fine. So I'm like, I feel like I need to do something at least a little bit harder. And the gluten-free thing is pretty hard. Like that means no cookies. It means if you have a crappy day and you're not going to eat till 10 p.m., guess what? There are no drive-throughs that are going to give you anything that's worth anything.
That's
Like
right.
you have to figure out other things. And then the 1,000 hours outside, like I have a friend who it's honestly a kids challenge. It's to try to get your kids to not be in front of a screen all the time and to have them go outside and do things. So I'm
Cool.
like, I should just try that. And so like it's literally finding opportunities on things you're already doing. Like if I'm sitting on the couch reading, why wouldn't I go outside and read? And right now it's cold out. That's why, because Minnesota is chilly. But soon it's going to be like, okay, we're going to spend 6 hours outside. Or I already have plans to go biking a lot more this year and do like, a couple of 60-mile days and things like that, that it's like, well, we'll be outside for this. So it's finding something that does scare me a little and that I can tell everybody that I'm doing, because I tell everybody on social media and then people ask me about it. So there's like an automatic accountability when I make a decision. It's just like, oh, I flipped a switch. This is the decision. It was made. It's not like a waffling thing. That's what I'm doing now. So that's my like, and I stack onto habits like some of that, and it's kind of intense sometimes.
It sounds like it can be a little intense, but for the listener, why is this so important? Why do you feel the need to, whether you're stacking them or just picking one and sticking to it, what does that teach you about yourself?
That you can do it. You know how many people, oh, I could never do that. If I have to listen to another person talk about how they couldn't give up dairy for a month or they couldn't not have bread for a month, I'm over here like, yeah, I could do that for a year. And you're bitching about a month, like 30 days. You can go 30 days without something. Quit being a drama queen. Like that's the thing, is like you say you can't and you're already telling yourself why you can't. Like, it's okay. Like, I try to change perspectives when somebody says that, like, hey, it's okay. If you want to eat bread every day, like, I don't actually care. That's totally your thing. But do not say that you can't, because that is BS. And you're just telling yourself all these things. And congratulations, you're going to convince yourself that you can't do things. Like, what? Like, if we have to become cheerleaders for ourselves. Like, there's no choice. And sometimes we need a leg up from somebody else. Like, plenty of people will tell me about one of their goals. I put it on my calendar and I reach out to them and say, like, how is this thing going? Because accountability is real. I actually am really good at accountability. I get people to quit their jobs every year. It is the most fun thing. And I get these text messages saying, hey, I quit my job. And I'm like, yes. Or I follow up with them like, hey, do you have your quit date? Is it still happening on January 1st, January 20th, whatever? And it totally happens. But it's like, if you're already telling yourself you can't do something, like, man, your life is a little bit lame. Like, you can do anything. You just have to freaking try. Like 30 days. Ugh.
Well, it's so disempowering, right? They're already surrendering their life before they've even started it. They surrender their day.
It's a bummer.
It's unnecessary.
One of my favorite questions to ask people, me and my husband ask people, like, is the best yet to come? And it is seriously disheartening how many people say, no, the best is already behind me. Like, and it's not like, not everybody says that, but I think there's plenty of people that think, they think of their glory days in high school, their glory days in college, whatever the hell it was, or now they have kids and they're really freaking tired and they're just like, man, it used to be so much easier. But I'm like, are you kidding? Like, your kids are gonna have kids someday and you get to be around for that. Like, if you take care of your body and, don't get hit by a bus. But like, for real, you get to be around for all these things. Like, if you have already decided the best is behind you, what a bummer of a life to live.
Well, it's a bullshit story.
Oh, God.
I mean, it's self-perpetuating, if that's how they want to
absolutely.
choose to do that. But
It's a
obviously
decision
not.
somebody made.
It's a decision. Mm-hmm.
Ugh, gross.
So you
that's
started
why.
a podcast.
So I'd love to.
Tribe Builders is the name of the podcast. Okay.
Yes, I've got I've got a podcast that we're like 45 weeks in or something like that. So like that's another thing. Just flip the switch. Like, this is what we do now.
Yep.
And we just talk to other people who've started masterminds, started groups, or utilize their community to build on their brand, to build on their business, whatever the heck it is,
So
and
hubby
just
does it
show
with you?
people.
Your husband
Do
does it
what?
with you? Your husband's doing it
No,
with you? Oh.
no, he
Okay.
he supports all the things that I do.
He's
But
a
no, podcasting is my
background
thing
guy.
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I mean, honestly, he would love to be on episodes. I haven't figured out how to have two people on an episode in the same room, because I could send him to a different room, but then I need to buy another microphone and do all that stuff. So I know it's eventually probably going to happen, because some of the stuff that we talk about gets so deep and so like, whoa, didn't even think of that kind of perspective. And it would be really fun for me to like, tell people about those kinds of conversations. We just haven't done it yet. And those usually happen on a Saturday in the truck when we're driving somewhere.
That's cool. That's a cool connection.
It's so good. It's so good. So where do you think this Tanya attitude comes from? Like, where does this, like, we're just going to try it, or we're going to give it a go, or, what's the worst that could happen? Like, is that something that you picked up from your family? Did you, have you always, I mean, like, I've always been this way, but like, you said that guy in your commercial real estate, he, taught you some things. Do you get this from your dad, your mom?
No, it's definitely no. I don't know if my parents would answer that the best is yet to come. I'll be honest, like, my parents are great. They gave me a really great life. They did the absolute best that they could with how they understood the universe, knew about life. They did a really good job. I turned out decent. I think I think my husband has helped with a lot of it. There were certain things when he met me that he was just like, you say you hate a lot of things. Let's try to change that. So every time I said, God, I hate it when this happens, or I hate this thing, he'd be like, what do you love? He automatically said that for probably 3 or 4 months, and it's gone. Now I realize when I say I hate something, and it's not often. I used to say it all the time. He's like, you say that a lot. So I know my husband has a lot to do with it, because there is like, he makes me, he's 100% the person that was supposed to be, he was the universal truth of like, here, this is what you need. Because he helped, like, I mean, I met him in my early 20s. He was in his early 30s, and we've just developed into like just a great couple, and just, yeah, he's just helped me a lot. So I kind of give his parents credit, because they made a really, really good guy. Even though his mom will not take credit for him. I'm just like, I don't care what you say, Sandy. You are the reason. You are a huge part of why he is the way he is. So I feel like he's got a lot to do with it. And then everything else, I have no idea, because I didn't grow up in a super negative household, but it's not super positive there. I just like life. And I don't know, the things that I get excited about, the more I lean into the things that I get excited about, the more I like life, like living, because not everybody likes to, or they're sitting in some yuck, like, if you hate being a nurse, stop being a damn nurse. Like, I know the money is good, but go figure out something else that makes you want to wake up every day. Because not everybody, like, because honestly, we are some of the most fortunate people in the world, regardless of whatever's happening, like 90% of the times. Americans really do. We have a really great life. Like I get to go, I just spent 3 weeks in Thailand and like that was just like a trip for us. That's like a bucket list trip for tons of people. And for us, we're just like, yeah, that was January. Cool. Now where are we gonna go? And I think there's so many cool things. And once you realize how many cool things there are and how happy you can be, you want to chase that feeling now. Like now it's like, okay, well, how do I do more of that? Because you can light up people's faces, you can light up rooms, you can have conversations that really like make you happy. And yeah, I don't know where the hell that came from. I seriously have no idea. But I do really like life. I'm pretty optimistic.
Somewhere you developed a really big muscle to generate agency over your own life.
Must have. Yep.
Fucked up.
Because I don't know.
It.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
I made it happen. Like
I hate excuses. I'm just like, I listen. I'm just like, get off your ass and change it. Otherwise, shut up. Like, stop complaining to me about this thing that you keep, like, you have a solution right there. And like, there's a threshold that I have. And then I finally say something if somebody's friends with me. I do have a threshold where I'm just like, okay, I'm done listening to this. Like, you have so many ways to solve this. Like, I'm not here to listen to you complain. Like, let's talk about cool shit. Otherwise, pass.
I love it. So I was just going to ask you, like, I was thinking about your tribe and the people you surround yourself with. And I was like, the qualities or what are the things that you look for? Or what do you, like you talked about like that inner circle, like if you join a mastermind or something, you're like, what makes you light up? What rings your bells in seeing it in other people that you want close to you? And how did you come up with those? Or did you like, you're like, oh, cool, good, nice. Was it more random or have you sort of like started to acquire some traits that you look for? And then when you see it, you're like, ah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's really intuitive. And so it's hard because I want to figure out how to teach people how to do this. I at least have some things like if I'm joining a mastermind, I'm looking for the people that are actually engaged, the ones that are helping other people, even if they don't necessarily have a lot of knowledge, the people that are horsing around on a Zoom call. Honestly, like that's how I find most of my friends is I might say something to somebody and if they horse around back, I'm like, oh, you're cool. So it's kind of like it's that, but it's really something that I really like people and there's certain ones that I listen very closely to how people talk to themselves and how they talk about things. And if they're excited or like people that treat themselves shitty, like and talk about themselves, like I hear that more and more, especially like, the last couple of years. So I call people out. I'm just like, hey, you're really mean to yourself. Could you stop doing that? Like, you would never talk to me like that. Like, you shouldn't be talking to yourself like that. And those people, like, I mean, sometimes people take it to heart and they really change, and sometimes they don't. I can see when people are making progress on it, and it's like I want to hang out around one of those people. But if it's, I met this person in January and in June they're still complaining about the same thing in January, like I don't really want to hang out with them because that sounds terrible. So I just like pick up on these things.
It's an energy. It's an energy.
It probably is. Like, I actually 100%. Do think it's this intuitive thing that it's like, I can see it. People that drain me, it takes me less time to find those people. It used to take me like 7 or 8 months to realize, holy crap, that's why I feel weird. Is like this person, I just talked to this person again and I feel anxious and I feel shitty about myself. And they didn't do it. They did not do it. They weren't like, Tanya, you're a piece of crap. Like, I do not hang out with those kinds of people. They're literally, it's these tiny little things. And I've realized it's their energy is weird. Like I can't handle whatever it is. Because some people, like I'm a cup filler. Whether I want to be or not, it doesn't matter. I can be around people and I can give them energy. And I don't know how the exchange happens. I'm just me. But people constantly will text me after a coffee and they'll be like, oh my God, I need to hang out with you more. Like, I'm just so excited. And I get that. That's like a regular occurrence for me getting a message like that. But that's not necessarily what it doesn't drain me, but I don't necessarily get that back. So there's things that I know that I have to go do. Like I just got back from an event. Events fill me up. Introverts have to like take a week off after an event. And I'm just like, I'm jazzed. I'm good for like a few months now because I just saw a ton of people and I got to talk to all kinds of my friends and I got to hug all kinds of people that I only talk to on the internet or, on a text message. So I know but I know that energy piece when I feel icky after hanging out with somebody, that's my red flag that I'm just like, okay, was it them? Was it something that happened in my business? Because sometimes it's that. And then I just like might connect that person to it, which I don't want to do. So I try to think about that. And it's like, okay, if I don't want to spend time with that person, it's okay. But I have to be smart about it. Like learning boundaries. I'm not necessarily great at them. I'm better at just like ghosting people, which is not great, but I'm learning it.
Not
I'm
advised.
learning how to say it. Yeah. I mean, I hate when people feel left out. I really don't like it. So I have to figure out how can I communicate stuff like this, but not be a total jerk. So ghosting is easier for me to just not answer a call for 6 months.
The lazy
I'm like,
person stay.
yeah. So,
But you've gotten much better at filling your own cup and your own energy source, your own battery, if you will, and not just relying on others to do that. I'm sure there's plenty of other things that you do, like this myriad of habits that you've got, that you're stacking, that are filling you up, like, you know, making you feel stoked. And you're doing that all on your own. That doesn't take another person to give you a high five or to, you know, jazz you up for the day. Like we all need to learn how to do it with ourselves, for ourselves, because we're worth it, right? Not relying on our partner, our spouse, or our employees, or our teammates, or whatever the hell, the barista, to like make our day. You know, they may or they may not, but
no, that's true. Like you might get my hair is at, I was thinking about this morning. My hair is at the length where I get the most compliments. There's like a 3 weeks where I get like my hair just is laying just right at this length. And I thought of that and it's like, I can't always get the right length. So that's not a thing, but you can be intentional. Like now when I buy things that even I hang on the wall, these aren't like, if you're watching this stuff in the background, I'm at a rental, like this isn't mine, but I am very like smart about if I see something in a store and it makes me smile, like I hover around it and decide like, oh, is that something I would like to bring into my life because it makes me smile? Like I have this tiny little picture with these little flowers that are pressed between glass. And that makes me think of my grandma because she used to press flowers and she's not around anymore. But this little thing, this tiny little purple flower makes me think of her. So I do that kind of stuff because that stuff also like bright colors. I love bright colors. Like I know I actually know Polly is a bright color person too. And you have all these fun things behind you, Sam, and they're you know, they're color coded. I freaking love that. So that kind of stuff would make me go, oh, this is fun. And I do it with things that I bring into my house, with things I might eat, and then things I listen to. Like I'm big on like my poor husband. He's like,
huge.
oh, I haven't heard that song today. And I'm like, yeah, well, I have like this song list of like 10 songs that are bumpy enough, like they're upbeat, that I listen to it in the morning or when I'm in a freaking weird mood or I just got an email that kind of pissed me off. I'm just like, you know what? No. And I try to catch it and I'll listen to music that will like, it'll bring me back up. And I've learned that I think it's frequency. It's about like the frequencies
100%.
we're at. And I know you guys know about frequencies too, that it's like, if you're at a low frequency and you're in anger and huffiness and jealousy and all of this crap, you're in a bad mood. And that's a low frequency to hang out in. And if you're around people that are always like, shit talking other people and calling somebody like nasty names and stuff, like you're sitting at a low frequency. But if you hang out with people that talk about cool big dreams and like there's literally like a higher frequency. So I listen to music. I even listen to frequency music. There's high frequency music that will keep you up there or it'll put you back up there. And man, that has been the coolest thing that I learned like in the last 8 months. I'm like, oh my God, this is great. Like I might have to listen to it a lot, or I might have to Mel Robbins 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 things a lot to get it out of my head so it stops. But I know that I can do these things and then I can get back up to where I need to be. So it doesn't ruin my entire day. It definitely still might ruin 3 hours of my day, but the less and less I can ruin, that's great.
I look at it as a like a emotional snob or a frequency snob. You know, it's like I have a standard of how I want to feel. Like Samantha and I are like, you know, it's like it's not okay to like just pity party all day long. You know, like there's bouts and we get little triggers and emotional upsets and challenges or like, oh, didn't expect that. Okay, next. Right. And we talk a lot in our podcast about, you know, emotional intelligence and mastery and really owning your emotional state, right? Like you're talking about.
But learning how to recalibrate yourself.
Yeah, that one's been cool. Like watching yourself, like reflecting on, holy crap, my body is literally shaking because I just got this email and knowing that, okay, it's actually only gonna last 60 to 90 seconds. Like the actual like pieces in your body that like make your blood go weird or you shake, and then it's gonna stop. But then you have to, what's gonna stop your mind from obsessing over? I'm really obsessive. So that's been hard, but it's been really neat to watch it and to figure out how to change it. Sometimes I can't change it midway. Like I'll be, you know, in a fight with my husband and I'll be like, why are you being such a dick, Tanya? In my head, and I just can't, like, I can't rein it in.
Stop.
Yeah. So I'm still learning. Yeah, I've got a lot to learn, but it's really neat to realize it and to be like, oh, that's a thing. Wow.
And for the most part, it sounds like you've channeled that obsessive behavior, right? Or
The
those
life.
obsessive thoughts around putting it into a positive thing, whether it's going to be, I'm going to go meditate, or I'm going to go do my 1 mile, or I'm going to do, you know, whatever the thing I'm doing. Like, let me figure out a way to take that. It's a bit of anxiety, nervous energy, you know, compulsive behaviors, right? So how to take that and utilize it. Whereas a lot of people just, I'm just going to drown in it. It has control over me. I can't do anything about it unless I'm medicated or something. But like, you can take those and really channel them and turn it into epic shit. Look at the stuff you've accomplished with this slightly neurotic behavior and energy. I mean, well,
it is
pointing in the right direction.
Well, I look at, you know, so there's a spectrum. Let's say there's like neurodivergent, right? So it's like, you know, they've got a brain that works at a different frequency and whatnot. And if you channel that brain in the right, you get, you know, some Rain Man kind of stuff. Like you can, you know, or if you don't, you know, you get the anxiety, people call it ADHD or whatever. I just think you have a brain that has a specific skill set and qualities that you're like, I'm going to apply this to shit that works in my life, and I'm going to make myself better. And oh my God, I'm going to pay attention to the frequency around me and my energy, my space, and pull in the energy that I want to feel, you know, like you're like, I love people that I see that are at the captain of their fucking helm. Like they're like, I'm driving this, like this life, this experience, this stuff that's going on. I know when I'm doing it to myself. I know when I'm doing it to you, whatever it looks like, but like, I got my hands on the wheel. I'm the captain.
Yeah, it takes a lot to get there though. Like, you know, I've got some 20 something year old nieces. And it's fun to be, I'm in my late 30s right now, and it's fun to like actually think, oh yeah, I was such a little asshole. And I totally thought I knew all the things, and I'm still an asshole, but I'm just like a 38-year-old asshole that can at least see that, oh, this is why, I'm more and more refined. But I think it takes time. It's so interesting because I can't imagine the version of me, the 22-year-old version of me, man, she'd be like, oh my fuck, get away from me, like whatever, just go away. Like, I don't want to be better. I don't want to wake up at a different time. I don't want to work out. I don't want to eat better, like any of that. I wanted to go to the bar. I wanted to have fun. I wanted to meet people that way. And now I'm just kind of like, oh, now I want to do all of these things. I'm looking up, like, you know, where's some yoga places that maybe have like some kind of class that I can go learn about why this is good and what that does for my chakras. And my 20-something-year-old would have been like, nah. So I think I've also I've done the journey that I was supposed to do, and it keeps building, and it's really a lot more fun to be at this age and to be thinking about these things. And yeah, I wish I would have started sooner, blah, 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 blah. But you know, it all happened when it was supposed to. So this has been like really, really neat to watch and to learn and to still have setbacks and then learn again and realize there's all kinds of lessons that the universe is like, ha ha, you haven't learned yet. And then they just throw it back into my freaking pond. Just like, take this away.
Endless growth opportunities still await.
Every day.
I'll tell you, it never ends, you know?
No, it doesn't. That's what I'm found out. I'm just like, oh, it'll never fucking change. Like, it'll never like end, because if it ends, then you're either not doing anything, or you're sitting on the couch sad, or you're dead. So you just gotta keep going.
Exactly.
Well, I had a question, Tanya, you know, as you were talking about how you know, choose people and how you like selectively like filter so that you get that energy that you want. So I was talking with one of our listeners, Robin, if you're listening. I was talking with Robin this weekend, and we were talking about her wanting to create a circle in her town, like for herself and stuff. And so
awesome.
Robin doesn't have a podcast. Robin doesn't have, you know, a mastermind group. She doesn't have money to fly all over the country and do all these things. So, Tanya, how would you start something from nothing? Like, like what would you say to somebody like that? What have you heard from your guests, or what would you say from somebody that's like, okay, here's what I would do first?
Yeah, well, one small thing is like look for magical moments, and that's just like a random conversation with somebody that maybe you hit it off with at a coffee shop. Like, I am not actually one of those people that just will randomly start talking to people. I just am not, even though I'm so extroverted. Yeah, but see, if somebody like, I mean, you can ask those questions, but honestly, the like spot that we're in the world, like, I hate to say it, but Facebook, like actually, like if you live in a small town, there's probably a Facebook group. Like I live in a big town, like I live in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and there's literally like this group. I'm not even a mom, but I'm in the Minneapolis moms group because there's all kinds of chatter around it that like you want to find some friends. And then there's actually Facebook groups that are literally like friendship applications. And they'll like you can put in, you can literally say like, hey, I really love horseback riding. I like to play Dungeons and Dragons, and I don't like to drink. And you'll have 60 people coming. Again, I live in a very populated area. Minneapolis and St. Paul are really large, but I would still probably be inclined to do that on a Facebook group, to be like, hey, I'm looking for somebody who wants to come out and have a drink or go and have a milkshake or whatever, like fill in the blank. And then the other thing that I think of is like, I'm in real estate. So I can find a real estate meetup anywhere in the whole entire world. I could literally go to Spain and find one. It's ridiculous how many people like that. So if you have something you like, you would go to do the thing that you like. So either join a group that's people already doing that, or go find the people. Like if you love yoga, you just move to a small town. Well, is there yoga in that small town? Or like you go to the crystal shop or like one of the healing shops, like you're going to find the people that you like. If you like running, like you would go to a running club or like a running store where they sell shoes, and you'd say, hey, how do I get into a running club? And then bam, or you like make your own running club. I know a gal that she didn't really just, she's really religious and she really likes running, and she's like in college or college age. So she made a group just for that. She's like, hey, who wants to come and do this? So I think even saying like, who wants to come and hang out? I want to talk about recharging my crystals at the full moon. You are going to find a couple of people, like honestly. And the more you pay attention to other people, like I'm not the biggest cheerleader of hanging out on freaking Facebook all the time and social media, because I really do think it screws with your brain. But if it is an intentional piece, like the way that I find people, or that I've told other people to find people, is to go into a Facebook group, for 5 minutes a day, like 3 different Facebook groups, and like and comment and encourage and support people. Like truly, that takes less than a couple of minutes for each group. Go and look at people's posts. And when I look at people's posts, I use the like button or the love button. So I know I already touched that post, and I don't necessarily have to touch it again if I don't want to, but I at least read it. So I use that. And then people will start seeing that, oh, well, this person has to say this or this. And then you can reach out to people that you're like, hey, I see you're commenting a lot about this thing that I love a lot because I like to play card games. Would you like to come and play card games? Like, and yeah, you might have to do that a few times to find somebody that, doesn't think you're a little bit weird, but you will always find somebody that's your weird. Like Pokemon Go, that's still a thing. Didn't know it was, but somebody I follow on Instagram has totally told me it is still a thing because she has a huge group. And it's great, but it's like her checkout and she loves it. And people get added to her group all the time and she gets so jacked. So that's why I'm saying is like, you love Harry Potter, go find a reading, something of Harry Potter, and you'll probably find a friend there that also has a cloak on. Because that happened to me recently too. Like you can find a friend by doing that, because you're just like, if you think something's cool, the likelihood is there's 5 other people that think that's cool too. You just have to go and find them. So you need to navigate and you need to ask questions, but you also have to be a person that puts yourself out there. If you do not have any friends, you have to put yourself out there. You have to go to a gym. You have to start talking to people, whatever it is. I know people say it's so hard to find friends when they're adults. Well, if 20 people are saying that, well, all 20 of you have that in common. So you just found 19 other friends that think it's hard to find a friend. So go be friends with them. Maybe they like to bitch about the same things you do.
Start showing up.
Yeah, you do have to show up.
If you sit on your sofa and you're stuck to your phone, that's not the real world.
You're
How
not
about
gonna
getting
find
out
friends.
into the real world? Yeah.
Yeah, just go take a walk. There's people walking their
Take a
freaking
walk.
dogs all over the place.
Exactly.
Just say, can I
high
walk
five
with you?
strangers? Whatever you got to do.
That doesn't
you know?
surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
That's Samantha's new. So we talked about where do we get onto the pixie dust in one of our recent podcasts.
Sprinkling magic. Yeah, we did
Sprinkling magic. Yes, spreading. So Tanya and I share a appreciation for landmark education, and so out of my participation in the communication course, that's right. So that was one of my homework assignments. That's right, is spreading magic. Or see, was it spreading? Yeah, spreading magic. And you and I met, and then I was like, spreading magic, and you're like, pixie dust, and you're like, high five. So now she like high fives everywhere and stuff. So
yeah, I compliment people.
People freaking love that, by the way. Total strangers, high-fiving total strangers. I was just at an event this weekend. Literally, there's 16,000 people in the stadium. I mean, it was professional tennis production. And people are walking down, thousands of people are just, you know, passing by and whatever. You can freaking high five strangers all day long. You wouldn't believe, I mean, perfect strangers over the course of a week, like thought I was their best friend now. Would every day they came into the tennis match,
and they would come
find me. Oh, come find me. Yeah. What's up, Sam? Well, this is what I'm doing today. You know, and it's like, okay.
Yep.
You make their day, literally, because you see them, you recognize them as a fellow human. You show them some respect, some love, some connection. And that's literally the simplest gift you can give someone, totally free. And then you get it back. It's reciprocal. And no a-holes were coming up to me for a high five. Like, you know, those people were walking the other way. Like,
they left.
Look at the crazy lady. Because, you know,
I'm not selling you a telephone coverage. It's okay. Calm down. It's just a high five.
Or solar.
Sam, I have a question for you, Sam. Do you remember let's just say in the last like 10 years, do you remember getting a compliment from a complete stranger?
100%. Yeah.
Okay. What was the compliment? Like, just tell me one that comes off the top of your head.
For sure. Energy. Yeah, like delivering energy to a room of strangers or whatever the environment was. Yeah.
So all because of the lilt of your voice, and they just are like, oh my God, you're just so excited. So I remember a guy, this was when I worked at CBRE. So this was 14 years ago. I remember a guy, I worked in the same building as a Regis, I really think there was some kind of hair like corporation in my building. And I remember this guy, I was walking through the Skyway to my car, and he complimented my hair and how good it looked that day. And I still remember that. I remember about what he looked like because he had really nice hair too. I remember that it was a man. I remember that it was the afternoon. Like, I still remember the way he made me feel, and that was 14 years ago. So that's one of the things that I do is I compliment people. If I see someone and I think, if I think something about them, that's honestly, I've kind of trained myself to also think a lot of positive things. So if I see something and I'm just like, you look fun because your outfit is fun, I will literally go up to them and tell them, you look fun because of your outfit. Thank you for wearing that. And people just like remember that stuff. And I have a couple of friends that know that about me. They're like, you're so good at that. You just compliment everybody. And I'm like, no, it's just when I see it, when I think it, I just let it come out. It's like, and it doesn't have to be the, God, you look dumb today. Instead, it's the, oh my God, like your shoes look so freaking good today. Like those are super cute. Or I love all the patterns that you have on today. Like delivering that, it's like your high five thing. It's just like, just tell somebody something great about themselves. And that's the ripple effect as well, is you just changed. They could be in a really shitty, weird mood. They could have just found out, you know, someone in their family has cancer. Their dog is sick. Like, who the hell knows?
Exactly.
And you just gave them that's going to at least give them 5 minutes of, and you're going to go home and maybe tell your spouse about it. Like, Matt, guess what? Somebody complimented my hair today. Look how good it looks. Like, this is the magic. You're right. They're magical moments that you can create and be a part of. And it's so fun.
It's so fun. It's so fun. And
you know, it's that frequency, you know, like be the frequency that you want to be on. And like when you're out in the world, the people that want to be on that, because guys, I don't know if you've heard a lot, but I don't pay attention to what's going on in the news. I don't think us at this, you know, podcast do, but I got all these friends that talk about like, oh, there's so much going on. I'm like, why are you listening to that?
Turn
like,
that shit off.
That's just like the noise and the norm and stuff. And it's like, if you want to play at this frequency where life is joyful, life has meaning, life is connection, you know, all these things that we're talking about, it's like, come up here. Like, and what I love, Tanya, you just said it, like you did it again. You like trained yourself, like you programmed yourself to see the good in people.
It's a muscle. It's a muscle.
Yeah.
And
to
develop the damn muscle.
Work it out.
100%.
You have to work it out.
And what a freaking beautiful reward you get. Right? Like you feel good giving it. They oftentimes, I'm sure you get a smile, a thank you, a hug, whatever, you know, or like, oh, let's hang out or here, let me buy you a coffee bag. Who knows? Right. But but
Yeah.
we love to give it. And in the communication course that I'm taking, they say acknowledgement is a scarcity in this planet.
Oh, exactly.
Oh, it totally is. Yeah,
Exactly.
because it's all we're all just striving to be seen and heard, and now we do it on the internet instead of in real life. It's awful, but all you have to do is make people, like in my short-term rental business, just make people feel seen and heard. That's it.
Yes,
Like, and solve the
exactly.
problem. That's it.
Yeah.
It's not hard, but nobody
So
wants to
easy.
solve it.
So
And
freaking
it's
easy.
not hard. It's not hard for us to acknowledge someone. Like you said, I just speak what I see. Like, oh, that's a cute blouse, or that's whatever. Or Sam, you're like, just putting my, like, going into work, going into that project, going into that room, going into that meeting, whatever it is, with the intention, like, let's keep the energy up. What's that going to look like? I don't know. Maybe you'll say something in the beginning, right? That like kind of sets a nice tone, or the high-fiving if it's appropriate. Sometimes, some meetings it's not,
Yeah.
but oftentimes
It's always appropriate.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, we
The
had
people
like
we would hang
billionaires.
out
I
with.
literally, there was billionaires walking
That's
in and
true.
out of this
Yeah.
environment that I
Yeah.
was in. And, so some of my coworkers and teammates, they're intimidated. It's awkward. Don't look the guy in the eye and all these weird things. I'm like, what are you
Who
talking
cares?
about?
It's just a person.
This is a human being, and they probably go around most of their life where people have this weird vibe to them, and that wouldn't feel good, right? They put their underwear on too, their socks on too. Like, how do you know if they're having a shitty day or whatever? I feel like they probably need the love just as much, if not more, because so few people will connect to them in a genuine way, right?
Yeah, because they're intimidated by them.
Exactly. Totally ludicrous. Humans are humans, and humaning is fucking hard. Doesn't matter how much money's in your bank account. It's hard.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
You're either
what?
trying to keep the money in your bank account or you're losing it, and it's all hard.
Exactly.
So Tanya, tell us a little bit about the adventure life that you've created. So how did you go from, 15 years ago having this job, and now you've designed this life, thankfully your husband can take some time off, sounds like he's doing projects and stuff. What is your philosophy about like a life by design, as I would call it, or like creating what you want your life to look like? And it's not always perfect. I mean, you're
No, it's
yeah.
not.
But like, what's
It's not always
your
perfect.
approach these days? Where have you evolved from and into? Like, what is life for you now?
Yeah, I don't like, if something's a hell yeah, like go and do it. That's like, and if something feels gross or feels like a no, then just don't do it. It's okay to just say no. But I don't know. I think if something sounds cool, I'll just go do it. And sometimes that's not great for my bank account or my credit cards or whatever it is, but I'll do it anyways. I kind of just like, the more I let go, the more cool things happen and the better things that happen, and they get bigger, and they, all of that. But yeah, I just like, I want to enjoy life. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to my 80s. Like that's when people like retire in their 60s and 70s. And I watch them on these damn vacations that I go on. Like we were in Greece last year, and I'm watching these 70 somethings try to get around the like they call it, not the Colosseum, the Parthenon, I think is there, or the Pantheon. I never remember which one's Parth and which one's Path, but we're just gonna go with Parthenon. So I'm at the Parthenon, and it's like these marble steps, and they're like, I mean, one step might be 24 inches up, the next one might be 16, the next one might be 32. It's ridiculous. They're all over the place. They're super slippery because again, they're like marble and they're worn out. And I'm watching these 70 somethings try to get up those stairs, and I'm like walking around with my arm up to make sure that like, hey, do you just need an arm? Because I don't want you to fall down because that would hurt. And I think of things like that, and it's like, and they couldn't do this 20 years ago, or they opted not to because they had the traditional lifestyle. And I'm over here like, ugh, pass. Like when I'm that age, I'm kind of just hoping maybe I'll be a beach person by then. I don't friggin' know, but I'll just sit on a beach at that point. So right now I like am quite able, like, yeah, I weigh too much and all of that crap, but truly like I'm still quite able. I don't even say no. Like a year and a half ago, my friend turned 40 and she wanted to hike to the bottom of the Grand Canyon and stay there for 2 days and then hike back out. Yeah, so we got a permit to be able to do that. And I was supposed to be training. There's two other guys came too. They were training for like 6 months prior, and I felt like such an asshole. I was gonna say no right at the end because I was like, I haven't trained for this, but I just did it anyways. I was like, whatever. I CrossFit it a few years ago.
Yeah, we're good.
And I mean, it was hard, but it was
Of
actually
course.
hard for even the girls that like there was two of my friends were there and they're fucking fit, like incredibly in shape. And they had a hard time too. Like, yeah, they maybe a little bit easier of a time, but I'm just like, well, I don't know. My knees still work. My fucking feet are still, working. Like, why
Yeah.
not just go do the thing? So I just kind of like say yes to the things and I figure it out. And I don't know. There's so many people with so many excuses that I'm like, why? Why are you
Mhm.
doing this? Like, you could do this. I will also preface this with we do not have children. We do not have pets. We have rehomed all of our plants at the moment because we do not have a place to live. Like, we
Mhm.
just bounce between like furnished rentals at the moment, anyways. And so that is different. Like, some people have chosen to have a family. And if you have 4 or 5 kids, you probably can't afford like the lifestyle that I live, add 5 kids. Oh gosh, that'd be really hard because we do spend when we go places. And if I had to get a bigger house for me and Matt when we go places, like I totally get it. But that was, that was their choice. Like, my choices have been, this is what we like to do. This is what we like to spend time on. When we go traveling, we love to see markets. We like to eat food. We like to hike. We like to do that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. So it's just like, how can I do that? And I'm realizing I need to introduce Travel Tanya to St. Paul, Minnesota Tanya, and they need to start hanging out more because I realize like I love hiking and doing that outdoorsy stuff, but I don't do it at home. And that's one of the reasons that I'm doing
Interesting.
the 1,000 hours outside, that I'm just like, I should hike here. Minnesota has so many trails. And like, I mean, you can literally do hikes in the Twin Cities. We have so many parks. And I'm
Mhm.
like, why
Mhm.
am I not doing that more? Like, I should. So it's kind of like, marrying those things. I'm starting to learn I should, and I would like to, not even should, I would like to. And just like saying yes to the things I want to do. I'm just like, I'm sick of listening to people say, well, oh, that sounds so great. I should do that. And I'm like, yeah, you should. Just like go book it. You'll figure it
Mhm.
out.
Yep.
And if
Yep.
you don't have any, like, I mean, people just always say, like, oh, I'm going to do that someday. I'm going to do that someday. Well, what happens if you get hit by the bus? Like, how many people get, I don't know. I say bus a lot. And I don't know people that get hit by buses, but it's true. You should have a bus plan of some kind. Like, you could die at any time. You could get diagnosed with cancer at any time. Like, people,
Yep.
it literally happens every day to thousands of people, especially in America. Like,
Mhm.
maybe go live a little bit. You shouldn't have to wait for somebody really close to you get diagnosed with cancer to realize that you want to live the way a certain way. Because that's truly what
Exactly.
happens. That's how everybody lives. Is like, oh, my mom just died, so now I need to, embrace life for a couple of years. Or this person, like, my spouse just got cancer. Well, you live differently when that shit happens.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Samantha's brother's going through the treatments and things like that, and big wake ups, and
Yeah.
seeing your
It's gross.
parents and things like that. So yeah,
Mhm.
Yep.
yeah. So like
Yeah.
that's our big thing is like now is a good time. Now is a good time.
Mhm.
And you've got to be responsible. Like you've rehomed your plants. Good for you. Taking care.
Yeah, I didn't just throw them away. Don't, if you rehome your children, like maybe don't do that, bring them with, or maybe give them up for adoption, but whatever.
Farm them out to a relative. They'll get to know their relatives better.
Mhm. Yeah, in the
Doo-doo-doo.
summertime they totally could. Like, I've got a kid in
100%.
my life that comes and hangs out with me. I love it. I love
It
that week
used
or
to
two
be
with
a
her.
thing,
It
literally
did.
a
It did.
generation or two ago. It was very
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to go hang out
So
with your grandparents for a
just
month.
saying these,
Absolutely.
you're related to these people,
Mhm.
or you're the best aunt ever, or whatever scenario
Yeah.
is going on there. Yeah, lots of options.
So
hmm
good. So
For
good.
sure.
Live a life with no regrets.
Oh, yeah. It was so lame.
Well, that's a really good
Regrets are lame.
one-liner. I was just going to ask, like, what's our one thing, guys? What's our summary? What do we, and Tanya,
Our
you're the
guest, she's
guest.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
gonna have to close that out.
What would you want to
Yeah,
boil it down?
it's find your friends. Like, don't
Find your
do life alone.
friends.
Yeah, like find your tribe. Like, I'm all about tribe building. Like, you need to find a couple of people that's like, and they're not going to be just like you. It's okay. Like, if you're an introvert, just go find one person. It could be
Mhm.
another introvert, it could be whatever, but just enjoy the thing that you love with somebody else. It enhances everything you do. Like, just
Mm,
go do that. Like, find a friend or two friends.
mm.
And I can't be everybody's friend. I try. I really do try to be everybody's friend. But there is somebody out there that wants to, like, talk about your pet pig with you. I got one of those friends too.
It's
Like a
true.
200-pound pig hanging out at her house, and I bet you there's all kinds of people that love that. Like, don't do life alone. It doesn't have to be a spouse. It just, you don't have to spend every waking minute with somebody or even a ton of time, but you can pick up where you left off. And I find a lot of people that are just kind of like, they seem like really tense. It's like they don't talk to other humans. They just hang out on the internet or they just hang out with their spouse and they're in their own weird world. And that's not a bad thing, but go find a friend. You'd be surprised at how much it like resets your brain.
Okay. I love it. I love
Beautiful,
it.
beautiful.
Samantha, anything to add? I love ending on that. That's so good.
No, I definitely vote for that 1000%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find your people and keep them close for sure.
Mhm.
For sure.
Mhm.
Well, ladies, Tanya, thank you so much for joining us today. It was really great to connect. Thank you for coming on Everyday Awesome Project. Woohoo!
Thank you, ladies, for being the awesome versions of you that put it out there because not enough people put their awesome out there in the ways that you guys are like, let's find more awesome people and hang out with them. Like,
Right.
this is great. So thank you for doing the stuff that you guys do. Like, more people should do this kind of stuff. It's fun.
How can people
Yeah.
find you?
I am probably the most on Instagram, Tanya Rooney MN, and my first name is Tanya and Rooney and then MN for Minnesota. That's probably the spot. And then I have TanyaRooney.com is where you can book coaching calls and stuff like that. But yeah, Instagram is where I like the most because I like pictures.
Okay. And your podcast?
TanyaRooney.com.
Yep, my podcast is on all the places that you get podcasts. It's called Tribe Builders. And my face is on it, and it's kind of got some retro, like pink and green and purple on it. So that's the one.
Sweet.
We will link it. Oh, so
Thanks,
excited.
lady.
Yes.
This was
Awesome.
great.
All right, Samantha, what do you want to remind our people as we close out?
As she says, awesome.
Awesome.
That just came naturally. What I like to say is how your life feels is more important than how it looks.
And every day is your opportunity to find your awesome.